One particular case comes to mind. Officer Ben Darby, who's been fighting a murder conviction since 2018. Now, for those of you who might not recall this case, we've talked about it several times over the last 2 years on this program, but I want to bring it to light once again. Officer Darby, Huntsville, Alabama police officer, involved in what originally was confirmed as a suicide by cop incident. But then, wait a minute. What happened? A secret grand jury was formed. Led by the Madison County DA in Alabama. Why? To go after this police officer. After rejecting multiple plea deals that would have placed him to blame, Darby went to trial. Sentenced to 25 years. For what? Doing his job? When some crazed person wanted to die by a cop's hand? And then his life, family stripped from him? It's disgusting. The liberal DA decided to send the man who, again, was doing his job to jail for 25 years while they allow child molesters to run free. Just thought I would show you that contrast. Darby awaiting the result of an appeal now. After spending a couple of years in prison, Darby's attorneys focusing on a lack of public presentation, a denial of key jury instructions, and a lack of supporting evidence as their arguments to try and overturn this BS of a conviction. Also, a few issues with the handling of the case, such as the public viewing room that they had to create because the trial was taking place during the pandemic. Defense attorneys say the live feed was cut off. Don't know why. That could constitute a new trial as well. So many things that were done wrong in this case. First and foremost, even bringing the officer to trial is a travesty of justice. It's disgusting. Joining us now for an update on Ben Darby's fight for freedom, his wife, Keelin, and retired Navy SEAL and founder of the Pipe Hitters Foundation, who's helping to provide financial support to this family and so many other wrongfully accused military and police officers, our friend Eddie Gallagher. Welcome, both of you.
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you.
Keelin, let's begin with you. We just had a holiday. Another one is approaching. How are you, Ben, the family, holding up right now?
We're making it. Obviously, the holidays are hard because Ben's not here.
Yeah.
He's in prison right now, and he has been for 15 months. So the holidays are hard. We were able to talk with him, and I should be able to get to see him this weekend. But again, he's not home with us. So day by day, it's not an easy thing to go through, being separated wrongfully from your husband, and in his case, his family, for doing the job that the state of Alabama asked him to do.
I bet. Can you briefly take us back? And I don't want to rehash too much. You've gone through this ridiculousness for 4 years now almost, right? Over 4 years. Give us the timeline between when it was ruled suicide by cop and when this secret grand jury, thanks to a woke DA, decided to go after your husband. How much time transpired there?
So the shooting was April 3rd, 2018. The grand jury met that July, and then he was charged August 3rd, 2018. We didn't go to trial until May 3rd, 2021 because of COVID.
Right.
And then trial lasted a week. He was ultimately convicted. And then we had sentencing August 20th, 2021. And he's been in prison since then.
Ugh.
We had an appeal update this past November 10th, and we went before the Alabama appellate judges, which consists of 5 judges, and we argued 2 of our 33 points for the appeal, one being why it was closed to the public, which is a violation of his constitutional rights, and then why he wasn't viewed as a reasonable police officer, which you have to view an officer by that standard. And he was not during his trial. So we are eagerly awaiting those results. On all accounts, we believe that it went in our favor, not just from my family and the supporters that we have, but from legal minds. Eddie's wife, Andrea, was there with us that day, speaking with her and the Pipe Hitter team. We all believe that we should get a new trial at the very minimum out of this. So we're just waiting. And unfortunately, there's no timeline for that.
Okay, so it's a waiting game to see if that panel will allow you a retrial, or not a retrial, but a new trial. Your
Yes.
appeal. Okay.
Yes.
So it's a waiting game right now. Could happen in days, weeks, or months. Eddie, let's turn to you. Keelin just mentioned that your wife was there. Hopefully you guys have met face to face, but I know you've been helping this family and so many more with your Pipe Hitter Foundation, especially after what happened to you. Can you discuss with us, Eddie, and our viewers, when you heard about Ben's case and how you guys got involved with the family to help out?
Yeah, for sure. I actually first heard about this case when Keelin was on my good friend Andy Stump's podcast, pretty much pleading her side of the story. I listened to the whole thing from start to finish, and it was like deja vu all over again. I'm watching this strong woman out there beating the drums to get justice for her husband. And after delving into the case, after I listened to the podcast, I brought it to the board, and we all agreed this is exactly why we formed this foundation, was to support individuals like Ben and Keelin, because not only is this case ridiculous in the way that they first prosecuted, then convicted him, but also because Ben and Keelin are not victims. They're out there fighting for justice, and they refuse to have that victim mentality. And that's exactly the people that we want to stand behind.
So good. I love what you do with Pipe Hitters, Eddie. Thank you so much. Keelin, back to you real quick. This was by the department confirmed as a justified homicide because it was suicide by cop. The suspect, who your husband and other officers, I would assume, were called to deal with, had either made those comments or something, or family members had said he had an issue. Take us back to that, because I thought I had read that the department had cleared him, right, and said nothing wrong here, and that it was solely this DA that decided to go after him.
Yes. So the shooting happened. Of course, everyone got investigated, and the department held a internal review board, which
Right.
is protocol for their department, and nationwide you have to go through a shooting review board, and it was deemed a justified shooting. The other two officers on scene were deemed unjustified in their actions, and they were remanded back for training that they had to go to. Ben was not made to go back through any training. And then he got pulled in the chief's office in May and was told the district attorney was looking to charge him with murder. And then August he got charged. So very quick timeline there.
Yeah. So an internal review by the department said justified. Ben did nothing wrong. This was the suspect's fault. And again, there's some information that goes to, and I don't know how much of the case you can get into, that says he wanted to die by suicide by cop. So obviously, this is a rogue, as usual. See, you may not see of it much in Alabama. Keelin, we see a lot of this BS in California, like daily with cases, okay? Because the DAs out here, unless you can find a red county, there's a few, most all of them pull this woke BS towards cops. So this does not surprise me. It just surprised me that it was in Alabama. Eddie, back to you.
I'll say one.
Oh, yep. Keelin, go ahead, sorry.
I'll say, you're showing the video right now. This is the female officer who failed to talk correctly to the suspect, Parker. And Ben had to tell her, point your gun at him, he can shoot you. She entered that house without her gun on the subject, on the target. And if you're a police officer and you don't recognize a weapon and you don't have your weapon out, then you don't deserve to be a police officer, because you can't defend your own life. And she's the reason why Ben's in jail today.
Yeah, because those two didn't get in trouble for the shooting. They got in trouble because they didn't know what they were doing. So like you said, they got reprimanded and sent back to training because they weren't following protocol. Ben followed protocol in the way you're trained. And obviously, if a threat presents itself, you neutralize the threat. I'm not a cop. I mean, you guys are military and officers. You're trained for this stuff. But even common sense tells you that.
Right.
Wow. Eddie, people want to get involved. They want to help not only the Darby family, but so many others. I was looking at the website today of Pipe Hitters. How do they get involved with you guys? Because whether they want to donate time for cases, if there's an attorney watching, or just money to help fund these cases, you're helping so many current and prior military and officers who are being wrongfully persecuted. So my hat's off to you, and I tip my hat to you, Eddie. Thank you. But tell them how they can get involved.
Sure. So we have the pipehitterfoundation.org. If you go on that site, you'll be able to see each individual that we are helping, and you can also donate on that site. And I like to bring up, today would be a great day to donate, being it's Giving Tuesday. And then we also have our Instagram page, the Pipe Hitter, and on there we display each person that we're helping and their story and pretty much the truth behind what's actually going on.
Yeah, well, see, this is what I always say. You want action, you want things done, you get veterans to do it, like Eddie. And what better to help people who are being wrongfully persecuted than someone who had it done to himself and beat the system and won when they tried to take him down. Eddie, God bless you and the wife, give Andrea the best, and all you guys at Pipe Hitters, thank you for what you're doing. Keelin, please stay in touch with us. Let us know when that phone call comes if we're going to get a new trial for your husband, whether it's a day from now, weeks, or months. I want to continue to publicize Ben's story on this program, this network, to not just get attention about his case, but there's dozens of cases like this, folks, that's been happening over the last couple of years, especially since George Floyd, where cops and military have been wrongfully accused, and we've got to put a damn stop to it. Keelin, Darby, Eddie Gallagher, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank
God
you.
bless.